It's the day after a major gig for rock band Iron Maiden, and there's no time to rest. It's straight back on the plane and to their next stop, Curitiba. As usual, fans find the band at every point of the journey, right to the tarmac. Even the airport staff want a piece of the action.
Take-off slot?
Yeah. Flight time is very restricted, 35 minutes.
News quickly spreads that the band are in town, and the fan chase resumes.
I have to say, a bit knackered today because I didn't get a huge amount of sleep last night because there's 3,000 punters outside the window playing loud Iron Maiden music, which is kind of ironic. This is bonkers. It's certainly one of the more innovative sites that I've ever seen for a venue. There's a lake which just leads me to go 25,000 Iron Maiden punters and a lake. Oh my God! What I'm looking for is basic sort of stuff for me, just to make sure I don't fall off. And it's actually, you have to be quite careful because it's very narrow and there is no safety barriers. One song you can just about start the verse here and then you're round here. Up the top there, They are. When you're out here and sort of adrenaline surge takes over, a degree of fearlessness takes over. I once asked one of my early sort of heroes, if you like, it was Ian Gillan, the singer from Deep Purple, and I sort of staggered up there. I said, what advice would you give? And he looked at me with half a bottle of whiskey in his hand and a big cigarette, and he goes, look him in the eye, and don't take any crap. I went, and actually, and I started doing it, and I went, right, yeah, none of this waving your hands in a grand gesture in some tiny little club and saying, hello, Los Angeles. It's no, hello, Los Angeles. And the guy goes, me? And everybody else around him suddenly goes, him. He looked at him. Maybe look at me next. And suddenly their attention is focused and you've got them.
Back at the hotel, Murray and McBrain set off for their venue.
Drive you nuts for it, don't they? I've had 2 days of stir craziness, I have. And him. At least I got out for dinner last night.
That's true, yeah.
When you just want some downtime, it's very difficult, Hello.
Actually, I think a lot of people tend to think there's crazy and mad pies going on, but it tends to be kind of quite relaxed and calm, So everyone's gathering their energy for the show that's going to be happening in a couple of hours,
Before the gigs, very little preparation takes place. Of the 6 band members, just 2 warm up. McBrain.
So you come into my parlour, did you?
And Smith.
Start getting a little bit nervous about an hour before the show. You've got to try and keep your energy,
It's all right, Jeff.
And so, after 33 years on the road and more than 2,000 gigs, once again for Iron Maiden, it's showtime.
The chemistry works very well. I mean, especially with 3 guitarists. I mean, you have 3 guitarists in a band, and how can you have 3 guitarists with no ego? They call themselves the Tres Amigos, and I think that sort of says everything.
It's, you have to look them in the eye with a fierce engagement, so they know that it's real. That this is real, and this is not mucking about.
Mucking about, it certainly is not. It's not mainstream. It's niche, but for those who love it, it's everything.
And to be honest, I think that's probably entirely to Iron Maiden's advantage that they're not a mainstream act. That's why they've survived so long, because they haven't had to rely on the fluctuations of fashion.
The feeling you get on stage, it's hard to describe it.
It's a definite euphoria, and it's kind of a high that's really hard to match in other things in life, really.
You know, I'm like a different person when I get on stage. When I get off, I'm just a normal bloke, really, you know.
I sometimes wonder who it is up there, because it doesn't feel like me.
I'm pretty shy. I think, you know, always been like that, so that's me. But on stage, that's me as well. It's not like it's an act or anything.
But the truth is, the story with Iron Maiden is on the stage, and that's the way the audience want it, and actually that's the way we like it.
There's something in their insistence on sticking to what Maiden has always stood for. They haven't sold out in the eyes of the fans, and they've always given people something that they feel is true and honest. And so I think that's what's at the core of Iron Maiden.
For more on Iron Maiden, and to find out who's next on Revealed, go to our website.